What's poppin', homies? It's your favorite homegirl, Gossip Girl, and today I want to talk to you about this situation with this pastor, okay? So, his name is Michael Coghill, and he was arrested, okay? But before he got arrested, he caught a beatdown by a parent, all right? So, let's talk about it. He's 33 years old. A 33-year-old pastor has been arrested by police in Oklahoma City after he allegedly touched a 9-year-old boy at a school bus stop. Police were called to reports of the pastor, Michael Coghill, touching a schoolboy last Wednesday when he was arrested and charged. He had been involved in an altercation with a parent who told police he saw Michael Coghill inappropriately touch the boy who was waiting for a school bus. It was claimed that the 9-year-old boy was his son, who said Michael Coghill touched him in a way that made him feel uncomfortable. Now, according to the Oklahoman, Mr. Coghill sustained a broken eye socket and skull fracture before he was arrested by the police. First of all, see, this is why oh, Jesus, you got the nerve. I mean, first of all, you shouldn't be touching nobody, okay? Let's get that out there. You are a pastor. And see, this is why people don't trust folks of the church, because of things like this. But this is not nothing new. This has been going on for a very long time, okay? When it comes to this kind of stuff, no church is exempt, because you got your creeps in the pulpit, okay, and you got your demons in the Catholic Church. I'm just going to call a thing, all right? How many times have we read about, the priests doing, ungodly things to the boys in the church? How many times have we heard about that? How many times have we heard about pastors doing things to girls and boys at other church? How many times have we heard about this? This is nothing new. But this guy, this creep right here, okay, had the nerve to do this stuff openly. Like, he felt like he wasn't going to get caught. You are touching a child inappropriately at a bus stop. Okay? So let's get down into it some more. Sergeant Dylan Quirk of the Oklahoma City Police Department told local news outlets that our adult that was made aware of the situation actually stopped, retrieved a recording device, monitored at the bus stop, observed and viewed the suspect run past the bus stop, come back, and then touch the juvenile. Okay? So, the parent then allegedly ran after Mr. Coghill and injured him. He beat that ass. That's what he did. And he should have. He had every right to. A parent, Lisa Ward, told News 9 that Michael Coghill was a pastor in Mustang, Oklahoma, not far from where the altercation occurred. He had been seen running in that area. There's hardly any words that are camera appropriate, said Miss Ward, who has 2 young daughters who also wait at the bus stop. It's just sickening. The church where Michael Coghill works, the Lake Homer Church of Christ, said in a statement to News 9 that it was heartbroken to learn of the incident involving one of their adult ministers, and our hearts go out to the child and family involved. We were shocked at this news, as he had a clean background check, and we have received no reports or claims against him during his tenure. Church leadership has no tolerance for any type of abuse and is meeting tonight to discuss the next steps. We will cooperate with authorities as needed. But see, this is the thing. When this kind of stuff happens in the church, they'll take him from one church and put him somewhere else. I have read numerous reports. I have seen documentaries on how students get abused. They go to Catholic schools or private schools, and the priests or the ministers or the pastors abuse them. They make it aware. Okay, they make it aware of to the priest, to the church, but the church acts as if they're doing something, but they only move that person to a different church, to a different state. They have so many connections within their church. They'll just move him to a different place. Okay, instead of taking real action. And that's what I don't like. And that is what I don't like. I don't feel sorry for him. That parent had every right to whip that ass. And I'm glad he did. I'm glad the parent did. He lucky he came out with a broken eye socket and a skull fracture. He lucky he's not somewhere in the ground. The church leadership has no tolerance for any type of abuse and is meeting tonight to discuss the next steps. We will cooperate with authorities. Yeah, you will cooperate, but what you mean you're going to have a meeting to discuss the next steps? He needs to be arrested. He needs to be put away. He does not need to be working with any other church. According to the paper, Mr. Coghill previously worked at a Church of Christ in Choctaw. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Choctaw. He is being held on charges of lewd acts towards a child. But let me give you a situation, okay? Let me give you a situation that happened a couple years back. An ex-priest who got a 14-year-old girl pregnant, allowed to keep teaching job. Okay, so we're going to get into that real quick. A former Catholic priest who sexually abused a 14-year-old girl and got her pregnant will be allowed to keep his teaching job. Joseph Deshawn, who was 15, began working in the school district in Bridgeport, Connecticut in 1996, 6 years after he impregnated the teen who worked in his parish rectory. Okay. School district officials alleged Deshawn made a 12-year-old student uncomfortable by making a creepy remark about her pretty green eyes, according to a State Department of Education review. Parents of Deshawn's students called their children to be removed from his classroom, claiming the youngsters felt unsafe being taught by a rapist and pedophile, especially because they are close in age to the girl Deshawn impregnated. Okay, a mother of 2 girls at the school told the New York Post, "The bottom line is this guy has sex with a minor. This is middle school. The students are the same age as his victim. I mean, if you're an alcoholic, you shouldn't be working behind a bar." Deshawn, a former reverend, was never charged with any crimes related to the 1989 incident with the teen because the state statute of limitations for sex abuse, which is 5 years, had passed. Okay, and that's according to the NJ.com. He was suspended from school for 3 weeks in 2002 when school officials learned of the illegal relationship after local news reporters reported it, but he eventually returned. Now, for a second time in his teaching career, Deshawn has been allowed to return to the classroom after State Walter Detrue ruled that the former priest cannot lose his job for the conduct that the school district has known about for 17 years. So you mean to tell me it is okay for this man to still work in the school knowing that he had sexually abused a 14-year-old girl got her pregnant, he is still allowed to keep their job. This is ridiculous. He's still allowed to work there. The Board of Education has not alleged that the respondent, Deshaun, engaged in any inappropriate conduct while holding public employment. He was put on leave for an incident, and he was allowed to return back to work. Now you tell me, this is why parents are very hesitant now to put their children in Catholic schools. This happens in public schools. You got teachers having sex with their students, okay? And they're getting punished for that. But why is it when it comes down to a priest or some type of Catholic school teacher, they don't get in trouble for it? I just don't understand it. It's right there in everyone's face what that pastor has done, what that priest has done. Why are they so protected? It's like they get a slap on the wrist. Why? I would never understand that. And I know I'm taking a big chance with putting this story out, but come on. This needs to be talked about because it's happening. Okay? Look at Michael Coghill. He felt it was okay to do what he did in public at the bus stop with other children. I'm glad somebody was there to see it. I'm glad they witnessed it, and I'm glad they whooped his ass. Okay? 'Cause he deserved that. Like I said, he lucky that's all he got was a broken eye socket and a skull fracture, because he would have been in somebody's ground permanently. Okay? And I want to give you an example of how priests don't get in trouble for things like this. They get protected or they cover it up. And it's sad. It is really sad. I know this content right now is a little different, but I wanted to talk about it because this stuff has happened. You cannot sweep it under a rug. You cannot ignore it. It has happened. And I bet you there's a whole lot of students out there who had some type of abuse done to them. And I bet you the priest or whoever did it to them that worked in the Catholic Church did not get reprimanded. They probably were still working there or moved to a different church, because that's what they do. And it's messed up. It's messed up. All right, you guys. That's all I have for today. But I will be coming back with some more stuff that I want to talk to you about. Okay? So you guys take it easy, and I'll be back later.